Hey, Anna and GYLS people. My name is Samuel Smith, and this is my video interview. So, I just wanted to give you guys this quick video because you guys asked for it, and I am super, super excited for GYLS this upcoming year. I can't wait to see all my friends, and most importantly, can't wait to serve and see what happens. So, let's go into the questions really quickly, and I think that'll be it. So, first things first. One, why did I apply to be for this position? So, three main points or reasons. Firstly, most importantly, is to serve. So, my parents have gone on a tremendous personal journey over the past 7 years. Whenever they first met Tony, went to UPW, became Platts, and after that, I learned so much from their personal journey. They went through Donnie Epstein, John Amaral, Keith Cunningham, and a bunch of different incredible people. And they not only went some incredible personal changes, but they also saved their marriage. They learned so many things, and it totally reinvigorated their business. And they've now become coaches of their own and help with corporate executives and all sorts of really cool business owners and helping them create a new life in their business. And my mom helps with women and helping them in their relationships and all sorts of really cool stuff. So what's gone along with that is I have been able to learn from all the stuff that they've been going through, and it's been amazing because as one of the things that I really keep in my mind to do, and I've just made a habit through my parents saying that it's great and just through doing it, is action. So I take action on what they've taught me, and through doing that, I've had some profound breakthroughs of my own, and I've learned so many incredible things. And in doing so, my life has become so immensely peaceful, and I've been so grateful, and I've just been living in an amazing state. And I love that. And what goes along with that is I really want to help other people and serve them with the same stuff that I was going on. And I see them having the same things that I was going through, and I know how I got through that, and I want to be able to share that with them. And GYLS gives me the absolute perfect opportunity because everybody knows that it's a personal development event, right? And everybody's really open, and I just really want to be a catalyst for growth for everyone there. And one of the best ways I see that I can do that is, since I'm a peer to them, one of the best ways that I see that, A, I learned from my parents and through what they have gone through, and B, this is a skill that I've developed through GYLS, is listening and relating. So pretty much kind of like what Marlon says. He's like, ask them a question and then use their answer and then plug it back into the machine. And so what I want to do is I do that. And I just ask them questions. I get into their world, and one of the best and most beautiful gifts that I can give to somebody is helping them feel heard. And so being able to do that for somebody, and a lot of times if I feel that there's some energy around something, I'll just ask about that. Or if something doesn't seem right, I'll ask about that. And I'll keep going down until they're like, I didn't think about that. And that is a great way to create a breakthrough and really change somebody's life. And one other reason that's a little bit more selfish to go at GYLS is giving hugs. I absolutely love hugs. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but that's one of my favorite things to do, is just being there for somebody and just helping. And I love hugs. So that's one reason. And then also getting to be with my friends that I've developed over the past couple of years. It's been really amazing. We've gone through so much growth together, and I would love to get to see them again. And then lastly, I want to be a part of the incredible Transform energy and that culture again, because I've gone through it's such an amazing group of people to be around. And I realize that you are the average of the top 5 people you spend your time around. And so I want to be able to put myself into that environment to be able to experience that growth and just be in that energy. And that's one of the things that I just absolutely loved about it. And Yeah. So second question, I think I may keep these answers a little shorter. Okay, so second question, since you may be close in age to the ambassadors and alumni, how will you handle being an authority figure? So I think that this is an interesting question because being an authority figure to me means being a leader. And I see that the best way to be a leader is not like a drill sergeant where you're telling people what to do, because that doesn't really go over very well unless you're in the military. What the best thing to do I see is leading by example. And so being kind, doing the relating and listening, like you plug the answer back in, using that and owning myself and being who I would want for them, well, loving them as they would want to love me, or however the golden rule works, being able to do that and show them and ask them questions and help them experience that new growth is something that I really am committed to. And I've had a lot of experience in leadership through my school. We work in project-based learning, which is pretty much we have different projects every month, and we work in groups. And so we work in groups, and then at the end we have a presentation to the entire class and sometimes even parents and teachers. And so in doing so, I've had to learn how to step up and be a leader for our group and how to work with different people with different personalities. And that's been something that I see as immensely valuable. And I've also learned how to be a leader in our extracurriculars. I have one in particular that I'm thinking of. We are in an engineering not club. It is with the University of Texas at Tyler, and we get to go over to the college and help them build a concrete canoe. It's part of the ASCE, American Society of Civil Engineers, and pretty much we are creating, it's a full-scale engineering project, and I'm a captain on that, and I learned how to really be able to relate and hold people accountable and really just be a leader that's kind. And yeah, and I've also been able to use this at home and also in my business. I have a digital marketing agency where I help dentists create high-value patients, and through digital marketing and Facebook and stuff like that. And so I've been really learning how to use that leadership. And I plan on taking all that experience from using leadership and using it to help foster all of the ambassadors, the alumni, youth leaders, heck, even everybody there. Any way that I can serve, being able to help them grow personally with that leadership, I see is how I can handle being that authority figure. So, number 3, if one participant is struggling with a challenge, when would I bring somebody else in versus handling alone? So I see that there's a healthy balance between handling it alone, and once I realize that, okay, there's maybe like something that's like really big and it's kind of something that I may need help with, or I may not be sure how to deal with it, that's when I would bring somebody in. So let's say, for example, let's say somebody's struggling with their home life, right? If I feel that I've had a lot of experience helping people move through things, and part of my leadership and being able to ask questions, I've been able to use that a lot in my community and my school, my friends, and help them move through things. But if I feel that I need some help, I will, with no hesitation, get some help, either from captains, youth captains. That's why we have the groups that we do, and we have youth leaders, and then we have them to be able to call on and serve even more. And of course, I would be keeping confidentiality in mind, because I don't want to, if somebody's trusting me with a deep secret or something that's like really impactful for them, I would want to ask them first if I could bring somebody else in, because they weren't experiencing all of the rapport that we were building and the trust. So I want to be able to make sure that I keep that trust. So number 4, are you coachable? And what does that mean to you? So it's really funny, because this is something that it's like growth and fixed mindset. So this is a book that my parents asked us to read, and I love it. So I would say that 100% I love being coached. And coachability to me means A, not needing to be right, B, I think I said B, not having a growth mindset. Like I said, being able to, growth mindset is pretty much being able to accept feedback, and like if you think that you made a mistake, you don't accept it as failure and like, oh no, and you just stop there. to me, growth mindset means, okay, I made a mistake. Now let's go back and try again and grow. So that's where the growth mindset comes from. And then coachability also means to me wanting to learn and being committed to learning. And that's one of the things that I see I am incredibly committed to, being able to grow in any way that I can. And coach, I love being able to do that. And the best way that I see that I can do that is for people that are more experienced than me. And I see that I can be coached from like the youth coaches and the captains because they are way more experienced than I am. They've been on this earth a couple more years than I have, and they know a lot more than I do. And I am totally down to learn more because it's not just going to help me in that situation. It's also going to help me in my own life and being able to help my community and help the people in my own circle. And so I would welcome that incredibly, and I can learn so much from that. So yes, 100% coachable, and that's what that means to me. So number 5, we have what has been your favorite thing about GYLS in past years. So 100% I would say the environment. The environment of GYLS, like, it gives me chill bumps just thinking about it. I love how everybody's in peak state. And it's actually been one of the ways that I have learned how to realize how much control I have over my own state. Because whenever you're not really getting a whole lot of sleep, you're staying up late talking, and then you're getting up early to do the workouts in the morning, I've learned that how much power I have over how I feel and my energy. And so I wake up, I make my move, and I just imagine like a pillar of light or whatever and just energizing me in the morning. And I jump up and get pumped, and I keep that energy out throughout the day. And I've had a lot of people ask me, how in the world do you have so much energy? And it's partially because of that and health and different things like that. But that has been one of the things that I've learned, and it's 100% because of the environment. Well, it's not because of the environment. It's a stand that I've taken for myself, but I've learned that from the environment at GYLS. And I just love the love and the culture of the people there. Everybody is committed to the other people there, and you develop such deep bonds with everybody. And like last year, one of the things we did on the last day was we went over to our fellow alumni, and so what we did is everybody got with one partner, and they put their hand on the other person's hand. They put their hand on the other person's heart, and the other person the same, and they said to the other person what it is that they loved about them. And that to me was one of my magic moments, and it was so awesome, and I loved that. So being able to, and I also love about GYLS how easy it is to just give hugs. Like I said, hugs are amazing, and how easy it is to serve because so many people are just have a growth mindset and want to learn. That's why they're there. So yeah, that's that. And then number 6, we have how have you been able to use your skills that you've learned at GYLS to help impact your community as a leader? So really quick, 1 second. My computer's about to die, so I'm going to go plug it in. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Did not want that stopping in the middle of the video. So number 6, as I said, how have I been able to use these skills to help my community? So first off, I see that it'd be important to talk about the skills that I have learned. So first off, relating, like I said, being able to ask those questions, listen, and get into the other person's world, and also owning myself with others. Because I remember when I first went to my first UPW in Dallas, I think in 2015, 2016, I was with my dad, and it was a really interesting, so what happened is I think Tony was talking about like your personal beliefs that you had that were like holding you back or limiting beliefs. And one of the things was I was caring about what people thought, and being able to, my dad was asking me, he was like, why does that matter? He's like, I don't remember exactly what happened, but he was pretty much really, it was just really emotional for me, but going through that, and I eventually started crying. I was like, it doesn't matter what other people think. And whenever I did that, I just kind of felt like a whole burden lift off of me. And since then, I've been able to really just own who I am and in doing so, be able to not really care about what people think and serve other people and help them and be able to be myself. And so that's one of the most powerful skills and gifts that I think I've learned from this whole Tony Robbins environment. And so being able to use these skills, I see, is it's great to have the skills, but if you don't use them, there's no point, right? So I see that I use these all the time in school, home, and business. So in school, I own myself all the time, being able to use that in my group projects, helping people and taking a stand like, okay, this is what's going to happen. And and not just being like, okay, this is what's going to happen, creating an agreement. Okay, this is what the goal is. This is the intention of the project. Okay, and now let's make it happen and let's do that. And so being able to balance that and be kind, that is one of owning myself is also being kind, and being able to use that I see has been really amazing. And I've been able to use relating in school and helping people move through things because everybody's got something going on, right? And being able to ask questions when somebody sees that, you see that they're having a bad day, and then we'll go over there and not worry about your stuff and just ask them. And a lot of times that's all that they need that day. And they were really just had some stuff that was troubling them and they really wanted to get it off their chest. And I've been able to do that quite a few times, and it's really, really lovely what happens. So then at home, oh, yes, you have to use relating a lot at home, especially with siblings. I've got 3. Actually, my brother and sister. My sister got accepted. Yay, she's going to be an ambassador. And my brother is also applying for Youthly. So, yeah, being able to use that at home whenever something happens, being able to relate and release the need to be right. That's one other skill that I see has been incredibly important and was a little bit different. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was very difficult to release the need to be right but the thing is, it's just a bunch of unnecessary tension and okay, I need to be right. And the thing is, the other person needs to be right too. So whenever you're just arguing the whole time, going back and forth, needing to be right, you're just creating a perpetuated cycle, and you're in the process really harming that relationship. And so being able to just release it and just even if you think that you're right, just saying, okay, sure, you're right. And being able to okay, cool. And then it's gone. All of that tension and energy is released, and it's so easy to move through life like that. And so being able to use that at home is something I'm actually still needing to work on a little bit. And being able to just release that need to be right is something that I really, really think is powerful. And then lastly, in business, using relating, especially on sales calls, because you want to figure out what it is that is their pain, using NLP and seeing what it is their pain and ask them questions, figuring out what their challenges are, things like that. And first off, assuming that your product solves those pains, then spinning it as it shows exactly it'll help them with what they're dealing with. For example, my business is using, as I said, Facebook marketing to help them create more patients, because a lot of dentists, what they do is they just rely on word of mouth and referrals. And there's a lot of really cool things that can be done with social media. So being able to help show them what would growth in their practice look like, having 100 more patients per month, reaching out to them over social media. So being able to do that and own yourself in those conversations, because I started out working in business at about 7, and about 9, I was on phone calls with 40-year-olds and in real estate. And then fast forward 3 years later, and I think I was 13, I started working in the commercial real estate space and helping organizing buyers and sellers for multi-million and even billion-dollar properties all around the world. And so I had to really own myself in those conversations to be able to bring people together, and sometimes have to settle disagreements with 40, 50-year-old men. So having to own yourself, I see, is definitely using that skill. So moving on to the last question, number 7. Is there anything else that you would like us to know to assist you in the selection process? So like I said, I really want to serve. I see that UILS gives me the perfect opportunity to do that. And I really just have a deep desire to share what it is that I have learned and not do it in a way like, hey, this is what I learned. I'm cool and you guys should do this. That doesn't work very well. Being able to use that like experience and like the greatest thing that I think through all of this is like I'm extremely peaceful and like being able to fall asleep quickly at night is really been powerful for me. And so being able to serve and share that with other people through relating and listening and then asking questions or like okay, so for example, if I'm relating to somebody around something and I have an idea of a solution to their problem, I'm not going to give it to them because if I tell them, it's just going to go off, like they'll be like, oh, that's cool, and then they'll just go on and they'll kind of forget about it. Although, if I ask questions having my answer in mind, I keep asking them questions around that thing until they eventually come up with the answer. Because most of the time, don't even know what the best thing to do is. They do. And so they could potentially be having a solution that they know that is way better than what I could ever even come up with. And so being able to ask them questions around that until they come up with their own answer, then they get to like take that to heart, and it's so much more impactful than if I were to just tell them how to do something. So being able to serve through that, I see, is something that I really want to do. And I want to be able to use the other skills that I've learned from my parents and their journey and my own journey, and really using that to help people. And I see that GYLS is the perfect place to do that. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you guys over the summer. And yeah, thank you guys so much. I hope that you have an amazing day. And yeah, adios. Enjoy California weather. It is hot here in Texas. But wait, it's actually not that bad because it just turned spring. So never mind. Awesome. Have a great day and adios.